Stop pretending you're a good person. Right now, there's a version of you that you've been hiding your entire life. A version so dark, so uncomfortable, that you've buried it so deep you forgot it even exists. But here's what Carl Jung discovered almost a century ago. That hidden part of you, your shadow, it doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It grows stronger. It sabotages your relationships. It destroys your success. And it controls your life from the darkness while you pretend everything is fine. You felt it, haven't you? That moment when you said something cruel and wondered where it came from. That time you sabotaged something good in your life for no logical reason. That pattern of attracting the same toxic people over and over again, that wasn't bad luck. That was your shadow running the show while you sat in the passenger seat of your own life. Carl Jung spent his entire career studying the hidden parts of the human mind. He discovered that every person has a shadow, a collection of everything we've rejected about ourselves: our anger, our jealousy, our selfishness, our darkness. Society taught us these parts are bad, so we pushed them underground. But Jung warned us, what you deny controls you. What you hide becomes your master. Today, I'm going to reveal 7 signs that your shadow self is controlling your life without you even knowing it. These aren't just interesting psychological concepts. These are the hidden reasons why you keep repeating the same mistakes, why you can't seem to break free from destructive patterns, and why you feel like something is missing no matter how much you achieve. But I have to warn you, this video will make you uncomfortable. It will force you to look at parts of yourself you've been avoiding for years. Most people will click away because the truth is too painful. But if you stay until the end, you'll understand yourself at a level that most people never reach. And that understanding is the first step toward real psychological freedom. Before we begin, drop this affirmation in the comments. I am ready to face my shadow. Let's decode the darkness within. The first sign your shadow controls you is when you have intense emotional reactions that don't match the situation. Someone makes a small comment and you explode with anger. Someone achieves something and you feel burning jealousy that consumes your thoughts for days. Someone cancels plans and you spiral into anxiety or rage that seems completely disproportionate. These intense reactions are your shadow screaming for attention. Jung explained that when we suppress parts of ourselves, they don't simply vanish. They accumulate energy in the unconscious mind. And when something in the external world touches that buried wound, all that stored energy erupts like a volcano. Think about the last time you overreacted to something minor. Maybe someone criticized your work and you couldn't sleep for 3 nights. Maybe someone got promoted over you and you found yourself consumed by bitter thoughts. Maybe someone rejected you and you fell into a depression that lasted weeks. That reaction wasn't really about the external event. It was about something buried deep inside you, some old wound, some rejected part of yourself, some truth you've been running from. The external event was just the trigger. The real explosion came from within. Jung said everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your disproportionate reactions are not weaknesses to be ashamed of. They are maps to your shadow. They show you exactly where your unintegrated darkness lives. Most people try to control these reactions through willpower. They tell themselves to calm down, to be rational, to stop overreacting. But this approach always fails because you're treating the symptom, not the disease. The shadow doesn't respond to logic. It responds to acknowledgement. The next time you feel an intense emotion that doesn't match the situation, don't suppress it. Don't judge yourself for it. Instead, get curious. Ask yourself, what part of me is really being triggered right now? What old wound is this touching? What truth about myself am I avoiding? That curiosity is the beginning of integration. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My reactions reveal my shadow. The second sign is when you constantly judge or criticize specific traits in others. There's someone in your life who irritates you beyond reason. Maybe it's their arrogance. Maybe it's their selfishness. Maybe it's their neediness, or their laziness, or their dishonesty. Whatever it is, you can't stand it. You think about it constantly. You complain about it to others. You feel morally superior because you would never be like that. Here's the uncomfortable truth Jung discovered. The traits that trigger us most intensely in others are usually the traits we've rejected in ourselves. This is called projection, and it's one of the shadow's favorite tricks. When you were young, you learned that certain traits were unacceptable. Maybe your parents punished you for being selfish, so you buried your selfish impulses deep in your shadow. Maybe you were shamed for being needy, so you rejected your need for connection. Maybe you were told that anger was bad, so you pushed your rage into the darkness. But those traits didn't disappear. They became part of your shadow. And now, when you see those same traits in others, you react with intense judgment because you're actually seeing a mirror of what you've rejected in yourself. Jung put it perfectly. Projections change the world into the replica of one's own unknown face. You're not really seeing that arrogant person. You're seeing your own disowned arrogance reflected back at you. You're not really judging their selfishness. You're judging the selfishness you've buried inside yourself. This is why your judgments feel so personal, so charged, so righteous. Because on an unconscious level, you're not judging them. You're judging yourself. The most judgmental people are usually the ones with the largest shadows. They've rejected so many parts of themselves that they see enemies everywhere. Every person becomes a screen for their projections. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to feel superior by condemning in others what they cannot accept in themselves. Want to find your shadow quickly? Look at the people who trigger you most. Look at the traits you absolutely cannot tolerate. Look at the judgments you make with the most intensity. That's where your shadow lives. That's where your rejected self is hiding. Integration begins when you can say, I judge this trait in others because I haven't accepted it in myself. That sentence will set you free. The third sign is when you attract the same type of toxic person or situation repeatedly. You keep dating the same kind of partner who hurts you in the same kind of way. You keep finding yourself in the same workplace dynamics with the same type of difficult people. You keep recreating the same painful patterns, no matter how many times you promise yourself this time will be different. This isn't coincidence. This isn't bad luck. This is your shadow choosing your reality. Jung understood that the unconscious mind is like a magnet. It attracts external circumstances that match its internal content. Your shadow doesn't just live inside you. It reaches out into the world and pulls toward you the exact people and situations that reflect your unresolved inner conflicts. If you have unintegrated rage, you'll attract people who provoke your anger. If you have unacknowledged neediness, you'll attract people who abandon you. If you have buried shame, you'll attract people who humiliate you. Your shadow creates a gravitational field that draws in exactly what you need to confront, but desperately want to avoid. This is why changing your external circumstances never works. You leave one toxic relationship and enter another one that's identical. You quit one dysfunctional job and find yourself in the same dynamics at a new company. You move to a new city to escape your problems and discover you've brought them all with you. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You think you're unlucky, you think you're cursed, you think the universe is against you. But the truth is, your shadow is running an unconscious program that keeps recreating the same painful experiences. Why would your psyche do this? Because the shadow wants to be integrated. It wants to be seen, acknowledged, accepted. So it keeps creating situations that force you to confront what you've been avoiding. Every toxic person you attract is an invitation to look within. Every painful pattern is your shadow begging for attention. The patterns won't stop until you look inward. The toxic people won't stop appearing until you face what they're reflecting. Your shadow will keep creating external chaos until you address the internal conflict. Ask yourself, what pattern keeps repeating in my life? What type of person keeps showing up? What painful situation keeps recreating itself? The answer to those questions points directly to your shadow. The fourth sign is when you feel a persistent sense that something is missing despite external success. You've achieved things, you've accomplished goals. From the outside, your life looks good, but inside, there's an emptiness that success can't fill. A hollowness that achievement can't touch. A sense that you're living someone else's life while your real self watches from the shadows. This is the cost of abandoning your shadow. When you reject parts of yourself to fit in, to be accepted, to be successful, you don't just lose the darkness, you lose pieces of your authentic self. You become a carefully constructed persona, a mask designed to please others, while your true self withers in the unconscious. Jung called this the persona, the social mask we wear to navigate the world. Everyone needs a persona to function in society. But when you mistake the persona for your true self, when you identify completely with the mask and forget the face beneath it, you lose access to your depth, your creativity, your aliveness. This is why successful people often feel the most empty. They've perfected their persona. They've optimized their mask. They've achieved everything society told them would bring happiness. But they've done it by abandoning their shadow. And in doing so, they've abandoned themselves. Jung warned, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. The more you polish your public image, the more you reject the parts that don't fit that image. The more successful your persona becomes, the more disconnected you become from your authentic self. That persistent emptiness you feel is not a sign that you need more success. It's a sign that you need more shadow. It's your psyche telling you that you've wandered too far from your wholeness, that you've sacrificed too much of yourself on the altar of acceptability. Integration doesn't mean becoming worse or less successful. It means becoming whole. It means reclaiming the parts you abandoned. It means making room in your life for the aspects of yourself that don't fit the polished image. the emptiness will not be filled by more achievement. It will only be filled by more authenticity. The fifth sign is when you engage in self-sabotage at crucial moments. You're on the verge of a breakthrough, and suddenly you do something to destroy it. A relationship is going well, and you pick a fight that ends it. A project is about to succeed, and you make a mistake that ruins everything. An opportunity appears, and you find a way to disqualify yourself. This pattern of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory is one of the shadow's most destructive games, and it happens because some part of you doesn't believe you deserve success. Some buried part feels unworthy of love. Some rejected aspect has decided that you should be punished. Jung understood that the shadow contains not just our darkness, but also our internalized shame. Every time someone told you that you weren't good enough, that message went into the shadow. Every time you failed and concluded that you were fundamentally flawed, that belief went into the shadow. Every criticism, every rejection, every humiliation that you couldn't process consciously got stored in the darkness. Now, that accumulated shame operates like an invisible saboteur. Whenever you get close to something good, the shadow whispers, "You don't deserve this." And then it arranges circumstances to prove itself right. It makes you oversleep before the important interview. It makes you say the wrong thing at the crucial moment. It makes you push away the person who finally loves you. This isn't weakness. This isn't stupidity. This is an unconscious protection mechanism. The shadow believes that if you succeed, if you receive love, if you achieve greatness, you'll be exposed as the fraud it believes you are. So it sabotages you first, to spare you the greater pain of being rejected at the height of success. The shadow would rather keep you small and safe than risk the vulnerability of expansion. Breaking this pattern requires confronting the shame directly. It requires asking what part of me believes I don't deserve good things. Where did that belief come from? Whose voice is really telling me I'm not enough? Usually, when you trace self-sabotage back to its source, you find an old wound. A parent who made you feel unworthy. A failure you never processed. A rejection that defined how you saw yourself. That wound is living in your shadow, and it's running your life. Heal the wound, and the sabotage stops. Integrate the shame, and you finally allow yourself to succeed. The sixth sign is when you have recurring dreams or fantasies about things you consider unacceptable. Your dreams show you committing violence. Your fantasies contain desires you would never admit to anyone. Your mind wanders to scenarios that contradict everything you believe about yourself. Most people respond to these experiences with intense shame. They think something is wrong with me for thinking this. They believe I must be a terrible person deep down. They suppress these thoughts and fantasies, pushing them further into the shadow where they gain more power. But Jung had a completely different perspective. He saw these dreams and fantasies as messages from the unconscious. The shadow communicates in symbols, in images, in scenarios that shock the conscious mind into paying attention. When you dream of violence, your shadow isn't saying you should be violent. It's often expressing suppressed anger that needs acknowledgement. When you fantasize about things you consider wrong, your shadow isn't corrupting you. It's showing you desires and aspects of yourself that have been denied expression. Jung said, "The dream is the small hidden door in the deepest and most intimate sanctum of the soul." Your disturbing dreams are not evidence of your depravity. They are invitations to self-knowledge. They are your shadow attempting to communicate what your conscious mind refuses to hear. The content of these dreams and fantasies often represents the opposite of your conscious identity. If you've built your identity around being gentle and peaceful, your shadow might express itself through violent imagery.
If you've identified as completely moral and selfless, your shadow might present scenarios of transgression and selfishness. This is called compensation. The unconscious mind balances the one-sidedness of the conscious mind. The more extreme your conscious identity, the more extreme your shadow content will appear. The goal isn't to act on every dark fantasy. The goal is to understand what it represents, to decode the message your shadow is sending, to find the legitimate need or emotion that has been pushed into unacceptable symbolic expression. When you befriend your shadow instead of fearing it, the dreams often become less disturbing. The fantasies lose their charge.
Because once the shadow feels acknowledged, it no longer needs to shout. Stop shaming yourself for your dark thoughts. Start asking them what they're trying to tell you. The seventh sign is the most subtle and perhaps the most dangerous. It's when you feel morally superior to others and are certain about your own goodness. You know you're a good person. You're certain your intentions are pure. You look at others who do wrong and you feel clearly separate from them. You could never do what they did. You're different. You're better. This moral certainty is one of the biggest red flags that your shadow is running wild. Jung spent years studying human darkness. He looked at the atrocities of history, the cruelty humans inflict on each other, the capacity for evil that exists in our species. And he came to a terrifying conclusion. The line between good and evil runs through every human heart. No one is exempt. He said the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Not the polished self, not the persona, the complete self, including the capacity for everything you judge in others. People who are certain of their own goodness are usually the most dangerous. They've pushed their shadow so far into the unconscious that they've lost all awareness of it. And when you can't see your own darkness, it operates without any check or balance. History's greatest atrocities weren't committed by people who knew they were evil. They were committed by people who were absolutely certain they were good, who believed their cause was righteous, who saw themselves as heroes while committing horrors. Jung warned, whenever we're certain we are absolutely right, that's precisely when we're most possessed by the shadow, because genuine self-awareness includes awareness of our capacity for darkness. Genuine humility includes acknowledgement that we contain the same raw material as everyone we judge. This doesn't mean abandoning morality. It means holding your morality with humility. It means acting ethically while knowing that you're capable of unethical behavior. It means choosing good while acknowledging the evil that lives within you. The integrated person says, I choose not to act on my darkness because I am aware of it, not I am incapable of darkness because I'm a good person. The first statement reflects self-knowledge. The second reflects dangerous self-deception. Your capacity for darkness doesn't make you bad. Denying that capacity is what makes you dangerous. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I accept my darkness to master it. You've just confronted 7 mirrors reflecting your shadow. 7 signs that the hidden part of you has been running your life while you pretended it didn't exist. Your overreactions, your judgments, your patterns, your emptiness, your self-sabotage, your dark thoughts, and your moral certainty. These aren't random problems, they're symptoms of a divided self. Carl Jung devoted his life to one essential message. Wholeness requires the integration of opposites, light and dark, good and evil, persona and shadow. You cannot become complete by rejecting half of yourself. You can only become complete by accepting everything you are. The shadow isn't your enemy. It's your lost self, waiting to come home. It contains not just your darkness, but also your unlived potential, your suppressed creativity, your abandoned dreams. When you integrate your shadow, you don't become worse, you become whole. And wholeness is the source of all real power. But integration is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. It requires constant vigilance, constant honesty, constant willingness to look at what you'd rather avoid. Most people aren't willing to do this work. They'd rather stay comfortable in their self-deception. They'd rather project their darkness onto others than face it in themselves. You're different. You stayed until the end. You heard truths that most people run from. That tells me something about you. It tells me you're ready for the real work. The work of becoming who you actually are, not who you've pretended to be. Here's what I want you to do. Pick the one sign that resonated most deeply with you. The one that made you uncomfortable. The one you wanted to skip past. That's where your shadow lives. That's where your work begins. For the next 7 days, observe that pattern in yourself. Don't try to fix it. Don't judge yourself for it. Just watch it with curiosity. Notice when it appears. Notice what triggers it. Notice how it feels in your body. This observation is the first step of integration. The shadow loses power when it's seen. It only controls you when it operates in darkness. If this video opened your eyes to something you've been avoiding, hit that like button. If you want to go deeper into the psychology of the shadow and learn how to integrate it fully, subscribe and ring the notification bell. And share this with someone who you know is struggling with patterns they can't explain. They need to hear this. Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Your shadow isn't your weakness, it's your greatest untapped resource. The question is whether you have the courage to face it. Until next time, remember, the only way out of the darkness is through it.